Hey guys, welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey, and I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. Certainly better. I was taking my medicine and I went to start the show and grab my medicine bottle and forgot to unmute myself. Oops. Sorry, I'm still having a good day. If you were listening to Lords of the Night, you heard my story about Little Butt, and that absolutely made my day. But there's people out there trying to hurt it. Trying to ruin my fucking day. And YouTube, if you listen to this part, go ahead and give me the yellow circle. Just do it now because I foresee several cunts in my future surrounded by other colorful swear words that may be linked in long run-on sentences. So much stupid today, guys. From the hearing and the Biden crap, and then lesser observed things like China and Russia being put on the UN Human Rights Council. Yeah, the Human Rights Council. China has concentration camps full of Muslims right now. They are on the Human Rights Council. If you ever needed more proof that the UN is fucking useless, that it is a giant clusterfuck of wasting money, China, who is actively killing Muslims and trying to re-educate them, working these people to death, and experimenting on their bodies, taking body parts out and selling them. China, Human Rights Council. Yeah. Let that shit sink in. And that was barely mentioned in the news today because, well, the hearing went on and the Biden stuff broke, and they're trying to bring me down, man. They really are. Guys, I like to be angry. That might come as a surprise to you, but I like to be angry. And I don't mean ranty, because ranty, of course, I enjoy, but that's not the same thing. Genuine anger. I don't feel it too often. And I don't really enjoy it anymore because society tells me I can't express my anger the way I'd want to. John Migda, thank you so much, who says, I want more cunts in my future. I understand that thought. I do. And I'm wishing you well with getting that. I like being angry because it motivates me to fight, but we're not allowed to fight. So anger is frustrating for me, and I don't like being frustrated. I don't like being frustrated. When there's no way to deal with it, there's no way to express it, just mano a mano, you know? And there's going to be, oh my God, Monkey likes to beat up people. Yeah, I do. But people who deserve it. They swing first, of course. I'm not a bully. I'll just kick the shit out of someone who deserves it if they swing at me. Or at least I used to. Crippled now. I'd like to see what would happen now. Because for those of you who don't know, throwing a punch is not actually about how much muscle you have. Most of your muscles, well, I mean, it can be helpful. But if you're throwing a punch right, it's almost like a whip. It's the force of your body that comes out of your hand. It's not just throwing your arm. Anyway, I don't like to be angry anymore because I'm not allowed to be angry anymore. I'm not allowed to express myself how I want to. Can't even say cunt for fuck's sake. But oh boy, was it hard not to get angry when I read Twitter's bullshit tonight. So let's start at the beginning. The New York Post runs an article telling us that a computer shop in Delaware has a laptop believed to belong to Hunter Biden. Kind of because apparently the paperwork had Biden's name on it. That's still up in the air. The shop owner said that they couldn't swear it was Biden that brought it in. Hunter Biden that brought it in. But on the laptop, there was a seal from the Beau Biden Foundation, which Hunter works for. And on this laptop, the owner tried giving it back. He called the guy who brought it to never came and got it. Never came and got it. So it looked on the hard drive, and well, it's no good way to put this. There's some Hunter Biden crack porn and emails that implicate Joe Biden in a pay-to-play kind of way. It's more of a trading money for influence kind of thing. So pay-to-play, but with really large dollar amounts. Hunter Biden is given a job at Burisma, a gas company in Ukraine. A job he has literally no qualifications for. None. A prosecutor who's supposed to be looking into Burisma, or who says he was going to be looking into Burisma, gets fired because Joe Biden pressured the Ukrainians to fire this guy. Now, if you ask Twitter, that's not what happened. Twitter actually fact-checked. Fucking Twitter, man. They fact-checked this. They fact-check it. And this is what they had to say. Let me bring it on the screen so this is saved for posterity. A series of emails obtained by the New York Post were published on Wednesday in a story alleging that Hunter Biden, the son of Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden, introduced his father to a top executive at Ukraine energy firm Burisma, and that Biden pushed for the firing of a prosecutor investigating Burisma. However, according to the Washington Post, then Vice President played no role. Then Vice President Biden played no role in pressuring Ukrainian officials into firing the prosecutor, who is also not investigating the energy firm. It also doesn't detail whether the elder Biden actually met with Hunter Biden's Ukrainian business associates. Oh, my God. We know Joe Biden pressured the Ukrainians to fire that guy. Not only did he come out and tell the whole fucking world that he did it, they've defended him doing it. They've actually defended him doing it, saying that this guy was wanted to be fired by the entire EU anyway. So it wasn't just Joe Biden who was pressuring. Well, if it wasn't just Joe Biden, that means he was still part of it. Joe Biden absolutely was pressuring Ukraine to fire that fucking prosecutor. But we're not allowed to talk about that because the Washington Post, those arbiters of truth, have said it's not true. You know, an easily provable fact. One that Joe Biden's admitted to. Now, he has not admitted to why he fired him. Not the same reason that's been given, that it was over the prosecution of Burisma. No. He says it was just because that prosecutor was corrupt, and all of the EU is like, yes, get rid of him, which is really weird. Seems really weird that the entirety of the EU was trying to get rid of a prosecutor in Ukraine. Am I the only one that thinks that's weird? You know, it'll be like all of the world being like, you need to fire Kamala Harris when she worked as California's AG. Wouldn't that be weird? Anyway, I think it's a much more, well, one, it is very interesting that this note pops up from this Ukrainian businessman asking, or not just asking to me, but Joe, thanking Hunter Biden for arranging the meeting and having it go off. Oops. Now, Biden's people have come out and said, there's nothing official on the vice president's calendar that day where he met with this guy. Stupid thing. Sorry, guys. I had to pop in and out real quick. I think it's a far more interesting story, though, that Hunter Biden has videos out there where he's doing crack and banging some chick. I don't care that he's banging somebody, but videotaping yourself doing crack, saving that for posterity, it's a weird thing to do, ain't it? Are there many people who smoke crack and record themselves doing it? Isn't that something you don't want proof of? Considering it's a felony, and but you guys, we're not allowed to talk about it. We're not allowed to talk about it because, well, I don't know. I really don't. Twitter's come up with a bullshit answer because they went on a rampage yesterday, deleting people, banning people, including the what's her name? The secretary of the press there, Kayleigh McEnany. They hit James Woods. They hit a whole bunch of people, tons of people. Anybody who posted the pictures or a direct link to the New York Post story, or if they posted direct transcript of it. You could talk about it, but you couldn't actually post anything from that article. And their reasoning is the most offensive thing of all. By their own stated reasoning, Twitter does not allow information that is obtained from unauthorized sources. Now, that is a very important phrasing. Unauthorized sources. For the record, that means every time the news comes out and says that they have an off-the-record source, that can't be on Twitter. All of Trump's tax records that we talked about at length and that Twitter kept at the top of their trending page for 2 days. Can't talk about that. Can't talk about that. Ex-Bubba Hotep says, didn't they also censor DMs? Nobody that I know of, but to be honest, as the bans were blowing up, I was actually moving on to other things. I'd been quite active on Twitter today. I couldn't go do very much because, well, I'm crippled. I went to go get my license renewed today, guys. And in Michigan, they're apparently only taking license renewals by appointment. And I didn't have an appointment. So I called to make one. And I went through this. If you guys have never called the Michigan Secretary of State trying to get a license renewal, even if you don't have a license, call it. It is amazingly repetitive to the point of making me want to throw my phone. I think it's probably a psychological test to make sure people really want to get through. The problem is I went through all of it. Parts of this conversation, 2 minutes long, that's repeated ad nauseum. Parts of it are literally just quoted over and over. I'm on the phone for like 9 fucking minutes, just waiting. I've pushed all the right buttons. And just as I push the final right button, they hang up on me. I was furious. So I came home and went to their website to sign up for my next day appointment. They're not open tomorrow, so I'd have to get one Friday, but all of the next day appointments are already scheduled. I have to come back tomorrow, they told me, which will be today, and try again to get a next day appointment. So I don't know if I'm going for Monday or Friday, but I have to be up till 8 a.m. now, guys. So I have that going on in my life. And then I come back and I get on Twitter and all of this shit is blowing up. I'm trying to watch the hearing. And I'm just getting more angry by the moment. And then comes the great banning right before the show is when all of this stuff started blowing up and when Twitter puts out its absolutely ludicrous explanation. Now, I don't know why Facebook did it. I know Facebook did do it, but I don't know. I don't know why they did that. And what Twitter did say is absolutely insane. John Migda, thank you. Went to sleep for the Ohio unemployment. I can see that. Well, it really pissed me off also because you can renew your license online, but for some reason I can't renew my license online. For some reason I have to go down there. I'm not happy about it. But anyway, liberals, seriously. With what we saw with Amy Barrett, with what we saw today with social media, it's just too far. It's just too far. You had Mazie Hirono, this fucking disgusting, stupid cunt from Hawaii, ask Judge Barrett, a woman who in front of her name up there says, "Your honor, honorable. She's a fucking judge. And you ask her in front of her children if she's ever sexually harassed or sexually assaulted someone. And you think that's okay? Ex-Boba Hotep, thank you. Point of personal privilege, indeed. You think that's okay? You think that is a good tactic? Because that's all this was. It was just tactics. It was just you fuckers getting up there and showboating. Do you guys know how long Ruth Bader Ginsburg's opening statements were from the entirety of the Senate that asked her questions? All of their opening statements, it ran about 3 hours. Total, if I remember correctly, the total running time for her confirmation was something like 9 to 10 hours. It wasn't that long. With Barrett, they gave these assholes way too much time to just talk. Graham, you gave him way too much time. There was no reason for it. It was only there to try to besmirch this woman. And there came a point where Ben Sass asked her if she could name the 5 tenets of the First Amendment. And she missed one. And Twitter blows up. Oh my God, she is unfit to be a judge. This is a woman who, to this point, has gone through countless hours of questioning from stupid people who couldn't carry her intellectual jockstrap, treating her like she's an idiot. John Migda, thank you. Are you going to get a vision test in the morning? No. I don't have to have any of the testing done. I just have to, for some reason, go in to have the fucking license. Nothing's changing on my license except for the year of expiration. This whole thing was a sham, and the Republicans let it happen. They had to agree to these rules, and I'm imagining they agreed to these long-ass hearing times, hoping that it would settle down the Democrats. Because there's a whole bunch of Democrats who are not going to vote for Amy Barrett, even though she is immensely qualified for the job. She was a clerk for Scalia. She's been a law professor. She's been on the bench for 3 years. They have all kinds of stuff they can look at to judge this woman as whether or not she's fit to serve intellectually, legally. And then their questions today, they can't. There's nothing wrong with her, and that's the problem for them. And they're going to vote against her anyway, and it has nothing to do with her. Nothing at all to do with her. This is her confirmation hearing, and the outcome of it is going to have nothing at all to do with her. The Republicans helped push Sotomayor through. An openly racist woman, by the by. They helped push Kagan through, who never sat on a bench. She had never judged anything. She wasn't on a federal bench. She wasn't on the appellate bench. She wasn't on a county bench. The bitch has never been a judge, and they put her on. The Republican was like, yeah, well, all right, she's good enough, fine. But they're going to tear this woman down because Donald Trump will have nominated 3 justices. The worst part is the way they treated her. I mean, suggesting she was racist. They went all the way back to Brown versus Board of Education. They did. That was part of the questioning. Because, you know, that's probably going to come up again. That's probably going to come up again. But anyway, all these idiots. The First Amendment covers free speech, religion, assembly, press, and right to redress grievance. And she forgot the last one. Like, oh, she's stupid. She's been up there for days, citing case law from memory. Remembering her arguments that she made in these cases and what the other justices said and what the people. Can you remember what somebody argued to you 2 years ago? I sure as fuck can't. And I couldn't do that before my memory got fucked up. They just tried to destroy this woman. They're still doing it. Go read on Twitter. The stuff that's coming out of Kamala Harris's mouth. Willie, where's your cock when we need it? Stick it in there so she'll shut the fuck up. If we confirm this woman, she is so going to destroy the whole planet. I'm like so totally serial, you guys. I'm supposed to say Kamala Harris to show respect for this cunt. When she treated Amy Barrett like that in public and is still doing it. It's disrespectful if you say Kamala. It's disrespect. Fuck that cunt. She's a disrespectful, murderous piece of shit who sucked dick to the top. And that is fact. I have no respect for that woman. She has no respect for herself or anyone else. Careful, monkey. Careful. They're going to come get you. I wouldn't be shocked, actually, because you know what? I went and, after Lords of the Night, I played video games for a few hours with Bloodwing, and it was a lot of fun. We were ghost hunting. And for those of you who would like to see it, I'm sorry. I don't have the ability to stream multiplayer games myself. And I calmed down quite a bit. And then I come back up to Twitter to find out Polly's stream got a strike tonight. Now, I haven't been able to find out why. I didn't reach out to Polly. I reached out to Jack, but I'm guessing he's sleeping. I hope he is. Get some sleep, bud. But I didn't find out why. Thought Bloodwing had to work. He has to work tomorrow. Yeah. Is it fun playing games with friends? I don't know what that's like lately. You knew I was playing. Why didn't you say, hey, can I come in? It wasn't my game, but I'd have asked Bloodwing, and I'm sure he would have said, fine. Damn, dude. Why you got to be like that? Man, my internet wives are a pain in my ass. Anyway. Polly got deleted. And I can only imagine it's because he was, well, being Polly about stupid shit. He probably said something about the wrong person, and one of their fans was listening. Oh my God, I got to get rid of it. Click. One Ton Hammer says Polly doesn't even know why. Yeah, I'd like to talk to him, though, and find out what they were talking about, what they, the subjects they had covered so far. Because a strike that pulls you down immediately like that, usually that's reserved for something like live streaming somebody else's stream or being so horrible that YouTube would be, I have to do it. But yeah, I was like, the censorship, man, it's getting so bad. And there's nothing we can do about it, guys. That's the biggest fucking burn of all. There's nothing we can do about it. Because what do? Go out there and say horrible shit and get yourself banned? So your voice is taken away too? That doesn't help. Be as nice as you can while telling them to go get fucked. Doesn't help either. It's become an echo chamber over there. Go to a different platform where it's just an echo chamber for the other side. That doesn't fix anything. Go to the media, ask them to do their fucking job. Nah, that ain't happening. So what do you do? What do you do? I guess for now I'm stuck playing by the rules as best I can. Which, by the way, saying cunt isn't, all that does is make it so I can't be monetized, and that's okay. I don't give a fuck. You know what, YouTube? Put it behind an 18 plus because I said cunt too many times. I don't really give a fuck. Kamala Harris is a cunt. She's a horrible cunt. Mazie Hirono, disgusting, old, horrible cunt. That woman asked Barrett about being a rapist in front of her children when there's been literally zero implication of that. None. There was no reason for that question other than to be a dried up, nasty, old, crusty cunt. That woman is horrible. Hawaii, you guys electing that bitch as a representative of your state says nobody should ever go to your state. We should probably give it to Japan or something and pull on Puerto Rico. Metal Minister, thank you so much. If we all leave, maybe they'll get bored and go away. Well, here's the problem. It's the normies. They're the problem. You leave this press unchecked. You leave this social media unchecked, and they're still going to push out their shit. And it's just going to become more and more and more normalized. It was amazing watching the end of the hearing when Dick Durbin gets up there and he actually apologized to Amy Barrett because he said, I heard that your children were upset, and I hope I wasn't one of the ones who did it. I'm like, Dick, don't you know if you said something fucking horrible to this woman? Maisie accused her of rape. Did you do that, Dick? Did you accuse her of racism? Which I believe he did, if I remember correctly, on day 2. Did you accuse her of racism in front of her black children? In front of her white children? This family that's being brought up together as brother and sister? Did you do that, Dick? Then yeah, you owe her a huge fucking apology. Probably a check with some money too, you cunt. The way that woman was treated is just fucking disgusting. But the social media, man. They've kicked off most of the people who have big audiences. There's still some. You have Milquetoast Shapiro. And I don't blame him for being that way. I really don't. It should be fine in a perfect world because there'd be all kinds of other voices as well. But he's not going to change any minds. You have Crowder, who... I like Crowder's stuff, but on Twitter, he's mostly about, shilling his show, which is, again, fine. But yeah, I mean, these big voices who are pretty much irrelevant. Of course, unless Ben says something that upsets the right, and then they all go after him like he's Milo Yiannopoulos or something. Because, oh my God, we don't like Ben and he got popular. We have to destroy him. Because conservatives are fucking stupid. Metal Minister, thank you. Why are you expecting leftists to be decent human beings? I don't. I really don't. I stopped thinking that a long time ago. Ex-Bubba Hotep, thank you. Sorry if I was just reading a script and didn't realize I was accusing you of being a monster, right? He's talking about, he wasn't saying that directly to me, guys. He's talking about Dick Durbin's bullshit. And I got to be honest, what Dick Durbin said was nice, and he needed to say it. And I do respect him for at least pretending. I don't know how heartfelt it was, but it seemed sincere enough. But why in the fuck did you're a fucking United States senator questioning somebody about becoming a Supreme Court justice? Why would you even think you might have upset them to the point that their children hearing it would upset the child, you fucking dick? I'm just calling him by his name, YouTube. I'm not insulting him. Dick. That time I was insulting him. Why would you? You're a fucking senator. And then I have to hear all this bullshit about how our president isn't presidential. Have you paid attention to our politicians? You can't blame this shit on fucking Trump. They've been this way for a while. You can't blame what the fucking Democrats did to Kavanaugh on Trump. Because you know what? We all have agency. They make their own fucking decisions. And truth be told, they've been these evil, devious, horrible fucking shitbag people for decades. Decades. One of their biggest heroes fucking left a woman to die in a car and went home and called a lawyer, not a doctor, not the police, not even the fire department. He went home and called his fucking lawyer. Yeah, good people, man. Good people. But Bucky, they say the right words. No, they don't even do that. They're fucking horrible people and have been for a long time. Do you think it's the right words to call people racist especially when they've exhibited no racism at all? All they did was fucking disagree with your dumb ass. We live in a nation where it is considered racist to think all people should be treated. Jesus Christ, I'm tripping over my own anger. We live in a country where it's considered racist to believe all people should be treated. God damn it, I did it again. Should be treated equally. Can't have equal treatment. No. That's racist. Huh? How the fuck do you get there? How the fuck do you get there? How do you get treating everybody exactly equal as somehow prejudicial towards one? I need some fucking help on that one. That's some Asian math right there. And yes, I just made a stereotype joke in the middle of that. It's not racist. It's funny. Unclinch. I don't have the answer. I really don't. I know what the answer isn't. Donald Trump was giving a speech tonight, and I haven't seen anything from it, so I don't know what actually happened with it. But there was rumors that he was going to go out and just burn everybody, scorched earth. Not a good idea. And here's why. Not because they don't deserve it and not because it shouldn't be done. It absolutely should. But all of this stuff is fresh. The ability to fact check it all, I don't think even the best fact checkers could make sure everything was proper before he goes out there and says it. And unfortunately for Trump, his words have to be spot on. at the very least, his facts have to be spot on. And they should be anyway. I'm all for the president going out there and burning these fuckers because fuck them. We need to take Article 230 or Section 230, put it in a fucking blender and throw in a Molotov and just let it go. Because Section 230 is bullshit that has led to the censorship here on social media, which is where people were fighting back against the bullshit leftist media that has been controlling media in this country my entire life. It's been controlling media in this country going back to the 60s. Probably before that. That's just the earliest I know about it, and I haven't paid much attention past there. Which, yeah, it's a failing of mine, but still. They've controlled the media. Now, they used to try to pretend that they were, unbiased. And a lot of people believe that shit. And then Dan Rather happened. So you guys remember what happened with Dan Rather? This is a man who pushed a knowingly fake story about President Bush, about how he got out of the army because of favors. And they knew it was fake when they did it. They knew it was fake. They claimed, well, we just didn't get a chance to fact check it. And he ended up getting his ass kicked out of news for a long time. Now he's back on social media telling me how bad Republicans are. Because he was such an unbiased media man for so long. I can give you example after example after example of the media being absolutely biased towards the left. And the one thing they hated was the internet. You know why they hated the internet? Dan Rather. What? Dan Rather? I thought he got caught cheating and got fired. He did. He got caught cheating because people on the internet saw the letter that was supposedly sent from, I believe it's from Bush Sr. I forget who it was sent from. But people saw it. And they're like, wait a minute. That font right there, that font wasn't used in the military back then. That's how they got caught. Autistic, wonderful, beautiful autistic people on the internet went, that font doesn't look right for the military in the 60s. Would you ever have caught that? I wouldn't have. That's what the internet does, or at least it used to. Until social media has decided to silence, well, the right. Now, every now and then it comes back and bites them in the ass. This latest one from Twitter, those rules that they told us, holy shit. There will be so many articles. I will be linking their own rules and reporting. Because they have broke me on that, guys. It's fair game. I used to be like, all right, no, I do not believe in reporting tweets. Fuck that. I don't want to play that game. I really don't. But I'm doing it. And I'm not blaming anyone else. It's a choice I'm making. They didn't make me do it. They didn't force my hand. I could still do it the way I had been. But I'm tired of it. I want a fair fight. And that just, that ain't happening. If you're not going to fight fair, why should I? There is no high ground with these shitbags. And I like to be a man of principle. There's things I still won't do. But if they're breaking their own rules, rules is rules. Rules is rules, motherfucker. I didn't make them. I didn't come up with some absolute nonsense bullshit about unauthorized information. What the fuck are you talking about? It is illegal for somebody to share your tax information without your express approval. Donald Trump's tax information was shared reportedly without his approval. And Twitter had it linked at the top of trending for 2 fucking days. A list curated by Twitter themselves. Don't stand there and tell me that you guys don't allow unauthorized information. Bullshit. So yeah. It won't be something I do to everyone. Because most people, look, if I'm just arguing with somebody, that's no big deal. I don't give a fuck. Seriously, I don't. If you get in an argument with me, you and I are going back and forth. Say whatever the fuck you want to me. I don't care. I'm not going for small fries. I don't give a shit. I don't care. You're just some idiot repeating all the other shit you repeat. And it's easy to just slap you down. And sometimes it's even fun. I actually enjoy it sometimes. I enjoy it a lot because I had another encounter with UFO today, and somebody's like, I'm paraphrasing, like, this isn't going anywhere. I'm like, yeah, but I enjoy it because it's fun. So like people like UFO, I'd never report him unless he said something like, well, criminal. Joe Biden better be careful what he says. That's where I'm going. I'm going to the top, y'all. Let's play that game. Because you know what? Here's the truth. Like so many other times, like so many other things, when it comes to this shit, the right has to know the rules. We have to know the rules because we have to play inside them. It's kind of like when I get into global warming arguments with people, I have to know my shit. I have to. Because anytime I argue with them, they'll ask me for information. So I have to have it. They don't. They just randomly spit out whatever stupid shit, and their friends pat them on the back for memorizing for whatever MSNBC told them to say. We have to know the rules because we're the ones they're applied to. But there's a certain power that comes with knowing the rules. Certain power with knowing the rules. It's actually a strategy I used to play with at Walmart a lot. I knew the rules. I knew how to break them. I also knew how not to break them. I never used that against people, though. I just used it to fuck with my managers. But I'm tired of this shit, man. I'm not even a Republican. I am far more libertarian than I am Republican, for fuck's sake. But I sit here and watch this shit. You guys heard me. This isn't even about necessarily politics for me. Look what they did to Bernie Sanders this year. Was I silent on that? No, because what they did to him was fucking wrong. For me, it's about the principle of right and wrong, and what's happening is just wrong. If they want to come out and say, look, we are not going to allow conservative speech at all anymore, fine. At least you're being fucking honest about it. But it's not what they're doing. They're trying to neuter it to the point where it doesn't matter. Anything that comes out is just, any questioning of them is just a conspiracy theory. And then maybe 2 weeks later, you'll see an article. Oh, yeah, by the way, everybody was right about what they were saying about that. In a couple of weeks, we'll be like, oh, yeah, that was Hunter Biden's shit. He really did say that, send that message to Hunter Biden, thanking him for introducing him to his father in a meeting that did happen. You'll find it on page 962 of the New York Times Sunday edition. It'll be the only mention of it. Although I think they fucked up this time. I think they fucked up because they went after the New York Post directly. And you know what the New York Post can do? Well, they can influence people. They can. And they will. Now, there's some people who, of course, read the New York Post and probably like, how dare you? How dare you share that fake news? So the Post, There's some smart people that work at the New York Post. They're clever people that work at the New York Post. That's why I like them. They won't strike immediately. Nope. Imagine an adpocalypse on Twitter. Imagine Twitter is found to have really horrible posts from lefties. And where you can see those posts, there's advertisements for, I don't know, Coke, Ford. Imagine an adpocalypse on Twitter. Not to hurt the people who create on Twitter, but to strike Twitter directly in their pocketbook for this shit. Do you think the New York Post is above that? I don't. I think they'll be happy to write that fucking article. I think they would be happy to write an article about how Jack was so worried about a story that, as far as we can see, is true. Meanwhile, he lets pedos run all over his site. I wonder if there's any New York Post reporters out there who'd be interested in hearing about all the maps on Twitter. You know what? People hate Nazis. Yeah, that helped hurt YouTube with the whole adpocalypse. You know what they hate more? Well, most normal people. Pedos. And there's a shit ton of them running all over Twitter unchecked. Posting actual, kiddie porn. There are people who actually post naked children on there. And we're not talking about somebody who, oh, look, I gave my daughter a bath. No. We're not talking about that. We are talking what cuties aspired to be. Might have fucked up Twitter. Because if I was running the Post, somebody'd be on that story right now. Oh, and it would be front page news. It would be front page news. Nut says nothing happens when they're turned in either. No, nothing happens to them. I call somebody a bimbo and I'm kicked off the platform for 7 fucking days. It took hundreds of us to get them to finally take down this one, where it's the only one that I've ever clicked on and immediately went nope, because their fucking header had naked children in it. Usually I'll stick around long enough to get the URL myself to send it off to like the FBI. Send it to Twitter. Not this time. I just copied the tweet it came from because somebody else had grabbed it and sent that. That's some disgusting shit running around on Twitter. If anybody knows somebody who works for the New York Post, have them hit up my DMs. They're open. Metal Minister says, I reported an account to the FBI and it still took over a week for Twitter to take that shit down. When I called that bitch from Game of Thrones a bimbo, I got my 7-day temporary ban within 2 hours. But it takes them forever to take down that pedo. That's just fact. Good luck, Twitter. I watch all the bullshit for Biden and all the shit for Trump. I'm still not voting for Trump, guys. I'm not. I don't believe in Trump enough to do so. But I will actively campaign against Joe Biden. This man is a lifelong liar. This man, for all of the talk about Donald Trump gets angry. It's a man who called a woman a dog-faced pony soldier because she asked a question about caucuses. This man is corrupt. I'm supposed to believe it's just some kind of fucking coincidence. Just some kind of fucking coincidence that his son gets a cushy job with a company he has no fucking experience for right after he was there. And then his dad just happens to get, well, a prosecutor removed who was looking into the company. That's coincidence. It's also coincidence that shortly after Hunter and Joe went to China, Hunter got another job he wasn't qualified for in China. Don't worry, guys. None to see here. None to see here. Joe Biden will literally say anything to get elected. And now that's partially because he's also suffering from dementia. He doesn't know the truth anymore. I'm not sure he ever did. I think Joe might live in a fantasy world. If you watch, I mean, he's always seemed to kind of do that. This man has been lying his entire political life and getting a pass for it. I mean, it's knocked him out of presidential races before, which is weird because they're not talking about it at all, this presidential race. They're not talking about the plagiarism. They're not talking about the outright lies. I wonder why that is. Probably an oversight on the press's part. Oh, I got to tell you guys, I think did I talk about it on Lords of the Night? I can't remember if I did or not. I saw the greatest thing from CNN ever. Swear to fucking God. Chris Cillizza, he tweets out this article from CNN and he calls it a great feat of journalism. I was like, ooh, I can't wait to read this. And I go and read it. And it's an article about how there was an investigation into Trump that took 3 years and nothing happened. That's the article. That is the great journalistic feat. They found out there was an investigation into Trump that didn't find anything. It was specifically into campaign illegal contributions from overseas. Didn't find anything. That was their big story. I'm like, I don't know how to take that, because you should be embarrassed that that's what that is what you consider a feat of journalism, you shitbag. Thank you, Gamer Valine. Drug quality testing may have been a job requirement in China. That would be earned on his own merit. I still have faith in meritocracy. You stop it. You know damn good and well that's not what he was there for. That's a joke about his drug habit, guys, where it causes him to do things like reportedly go to a bar and have hookers shove meth up his ass. Ex-Bubba Hotep, thank you again. The most striking line Trump said in the debate to me, 47 months versus 47 years. You know, you would think that would mean more. And that kept rolling in my head today as I saw the Ice Cube debate that was going on. For those of you who don't know, Ice Cube has been pissing off black people. Those of you who don't know who Ice Cube is, he's a rapper, got big in the late 80s, early 90s, and he did a lot of family films there for a while. Then he was in the Triple X sequel, I guess, that I never watched. And then he went on Bill Maher, and Bill Maher apologized for saying the N-word. And he does a lot of stuff on Twitter. But he's been thinking. L Wolf says my mom likes him from Law and Order. No. That's Ice-T. Ice Cube. Damn white people. No. For any of you who's seriously making that mistake, no. Two different people. They're different style of rappers too. Yeah. At least nobody confused him with Vanilla Ice. Ice Cube, they call him Cube, so I'm going to call him Cube. Cube is having a crisis of political faith right now. And he is very interested in helping black people. And that's fine. If you want to help your group, however you decide that group is, I have no problem with it. As long as you're not like, we're better than everyone else, which, by the way, Cube clearly says no, they're not. So welcome and love all races. But we got to get what he says in a video that he put out yesterday, might have been from the day before, is that black people are on the lowest rung. Everybody else is above them, and they need to figure out how to get to the level of everyone else. Not as people, not as worth as humans, but financially. To have a community where they have money to invest in each other and in the world around. And he's not wrong to say they don't really have that. Now, I don't know what conclusion he comes to about why they don't have that. There's various reasons. Lack of fathers in a home right now is a big one. Jesus Christ. That is a crisis that no politician is talking about, and it needs addressed. You're talking about 75% of black children growing up in a home without a father. That needs addressed. You want to talk about poverty? That leads to poverty. Look it up. Look at the statistics. Don't look at me. Go look at the statistics of children who grow up in a two-parent home, or even a parent with dad around somewhere, and ones who never meet their dad. Things happen. People die. Sometimes people get separated and one has to move for a job, whatever. I understand that can happen sometimes. 75%, that's a problem. It's a problem that needs addressed. There is a problem, and he's right. And he wants to get it fixed. So instead of just running to the Democrats like everyone else does, Cube said he started looking into stuff. Your boy Pat says the destruction of the black family and black people simply won't help each other. You know, I'm going to get to that. I really will. And I hope I don't forget, because that is an important part of this whole conversation. Cube says he's looking into stuff. And so he arranged to meet with some Democrats, and he went and talked to them. And the Democrats were like, he said they were very friendly, very friendly. But they didn't do anything. And he went and met with some Republicans. He said the Republicans said $500 billion to help with what you need. Changed their policies because they heard what the man had to say. And like, you know what? We should probably address that. Threw $500 billion on the table. The Cube's like, maybe what we should be doing, whether it's voting for Democrats or voting for Republicans, no matter who gets in, it doesn't matter because they're all the same. No president has been helping us. Because maybe what we should do is hold their feet to the fire. Hold their feet to the fire and demand they actually do things for us. You know, what your government's supposed to do. And because he didn't just come out in favor of Joe Biden, oh dear Lord. Ice Cube is now a honky, basically. You should read some of the horrible shit that was said to this man, because he simply said, we should do what's best for black people. Not we should vote Democrat. That was his mistake, saying we should do what's best for blacks, regardless of party. How dare you suggest we shouldn't all just think alike like Joe Biden said we do? It is absolutely insane to watch black people tear each other apart for having different opinions, because it's not based on anything they actually say. What Ice Cube said made perfect sense if you actually listen to it. If you wanted something from the government, you should be willing to go to whoever's offering it. And if they do, hold their feet to the fire. Like, you didn't give it to me, I'm going to vote for them next time. See if they'll do it. And in this case, they've already made the offer. $500 billion. You're talking urban renewal, which, by the way, a lot of black cities need. A lot of black cities need. They treat this man like he put on a Klan robe and strung up a cross in Obama's yard and lit it on fire. Because he dared think different. But not because he dared to think different. Because he dared to think different with black skin. Oh, God. And most of the people in the comments were fine with it. They were fine with it. They were cheering each other on. Cheering each other on. Terry Crews came out and said that he was going to hang out with good people, white, black, whatever. I'm going to just hang out with the good people. And once again, this man was pulled on to Don Lemon's show to get a lecture from that fucking degenerate. And I don't call him a degenerate because he's gay. I call him a degenerate because he wipes his ball sweat underneath people's noses simply because that person offered to buy them a drink as a nicety 20 minutes earlier. Thought it would be a good idea to walk over and put ball sweat on his nose, allegedly. Fucking degenerate. Terry Crews had to go up there and explain to Don Lemon why he would say he's going to hang out with the nice people. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Having to go explain why you told somebody, I'd rather not hang out with assholes. I'm going to hang out with the cool folks. Why in the world would you say that? You have dark skin, don't you know? Like, yeah, but there's, nice people over here and you're an asshole. So I'm going to go hang out with them. I don't care that we have the same color skin. Burley Sullivan says, "The fuck? Ball sweat?" Yeah, that is an allegation against Don Lemon. It's a great story. He's in a bar and this guy who's not gay offered to buy him a drink because he's a fan. And Don Lemon was like really shitty to him, reportedly. And then reportedly later, the guy's at the bar and Don Lemon walks up to him with his ball sweaty finger and rubs it under the guy's nose. And if you have any idea that that's probably a law or a bullshit claim, go watch any of the New Year's Eves from CNN that have Don Lemon on them. Y'all seen Don Lemon drunk? Oh, dear fuck. I wouldn't go drinking with that man. That man, he's an asshole normal. You put alcohol in him and he turns that shit up to 15. Oh, yeah. That guy's a shithead. Could have been a very flawed attempt at coming onto his fan. I cannot understand why you would rub ball sweat under anyone's nose. I don't know. I've never even heard gay guys go, you know what I really love? The smell of balls. You ever heard anyone in your life go, yeah, I'd love the smell of balls? Man, woman, either. Trans, non-binary, unicorn, any? Never heard anybody like, I love the smell of balls. It's like, yeah, man, I'm gonna rub my ball sweat under this guy's nose. Brian the dog says no comment. Look, man, I'm not judging, but I've never heard anybody say it. Stone says otherwise, wash that shit, right? Wash your balls, man. Christ. If I could reach, I'd never leave the house. Oh, good God. You have fingers too, man. Does porn count? Do they have people saying that in porn now? Oh, I just love the smell of your balls. Cool. You ever seen balls? Dear God. Looks like something went wrong. Why do you have that extra wrinkly pouch hanging underneath your dick? And why does it move on its own sometimes? Do you guys remember when you first noticed that your balls will move while you're just sitting there? I remember that. Ladies, if you don't know, our balls move on their own. That is absolutely true. I'm not fucking with you right now. Yeah, you'll be sitting there naked. Of course, you got to see it. If you're in pants, you really can't feel it, but I mean, sometimes you can. But sit there naked and just watch. Your balls will shift. Like, what are y'all doing in there? Settle down. Anyway, God gave us males balls to prove to flat earthers gravity doesn't indeed exist. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, man. Have I been ranting for a whole fucking hour? Sorry, guys. I'm a little animated tonight because it was an annoying day. And if it wasn't for Little Butt, I would have had a bad day. But that Little Butt video just made my night. For those of you who don't know, she's learning Spanish. And her mom sent me a little Snapchat that said, this is her speaking Spanish. And I can't remember exactly what she said. But she said Spanish and then something. And it was just the cutest thing. So I sent her a Snapchat back. I still remember a little bit of my Spanish from high school. And I said, hola, Little Butt, te amo. And I got another one back from her saying, te amo. I was like, oh my gosh. And then her mom said, is there anything else you want to say? And she goes, I love you, Grandpa. I was like, oh my. Oh my. I love that child. I can't wait to see her this weekend. And her little chunk of a sister. Oh, that one is so cute. She is so adorable, you guys. And she just always has this smile like she just did something you're not supposed to know about. This little devious smile. Oh, it's so cute. Hazmat, thank you. I'm getting one of my ball removed due to cancer. Sorry to hear it, man. Get one of those fake ones. See if they'll let you put a fake eye in there. I speak Spanish since I was about 6. I wish I spoke better Spanish. I don't. I don't speak it very well at all. I know very little. But I know te amo. And I would have said more to her, but I don't want to confuse her as she's just starting to learn, you know? I don't want to fuck that up because I don't know enough to actually teach the child. But yeah, it was just so cute. Te amo. I love you, Grandpa. I was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, that made me have a much better day. That's a lot of cute to carry me through a whole bunch of shit that I run into. Getting surgery next week. Seriously, man, I wish you all the best with it. Evil Ferret says, I speak American. I speak American English and very, very broken Spanish. That's it. Like with French, I can say oui. And Russian, I can say niet. And German, I can say we hate Jews. With, let's see, Polish, I can say we hate the Germans. What else can I say? I can speak Canadian. I can throw an "eh" behind everything I said and draw out my words for no fucking reason. But those are the only languages I speak. Nuts, thank you so much for dropping the Streamlabs links. That's a good time to remind you guys. I am brought to you by you. If there's anything if there's any way you'd like to help the show, one of the best you can do is just watching, and we do appreciate that. You can also hit that like button and share with your friends. Tell everybody about us because we're awesome people. And I know I'm speaking in the wheeze. It's okay because Jack's usually here. So I still speak as though he is. He's here in spirit, damn it. Oh, you can also donate if you'd like to. Can you speak Texan? Since that's longer than Canada lands. The southern accents I can do. I don't know where they're from. They're kind of a mix. Delahaye says, "Damn it, Monk, you may not be wrong, but still, hey, just saying." Look, we fuck up the Queen's language as well, so the Queen's English. So fuck it. James Colley, thank you. The Trials of Dawn, never squeezed but underjuiced. What? Okay. Thank you for the donation. I don't know what that means. Did anybody watch Donald Trump's speech tonight? I'm wondering how it went, because I really do think it's probably a bad idea for him to go scorched earth yet. I think he should. Lemon juice. Gotcha. Thank you. Well, when you say Don, I automatically think Donald Trump, but Trials of Don. I get it. Don Lemon. Now it makes sense. Sorry, James, you're smarter than me, and you keep doing that to me with jokes. I think Trump absolutely should go as scorched earth as he can, but I think it needs to be very tempered. And all I mean by tempered is making sure he has all the facts right. That's it. That's all. Once all that's in order, absolutely fucking burn it all down. Drain that swamp, man. Drain the fuck out of it. You know, I was watching the hearings today and arguing with somebody, of course. Justice Barrett, future Justice Barrett kept telling these people, I'm not going to give you any idea how I might answer on a case. She kept invoking what people call the Ginsburg rule. And I forget the exact language of it, and I'm too fucking lazy to pull it up. But I bring it up, and somebody challenges me on it. Like, you forgot the second part. I'm like, oh, God. There is no second part. I know enough of it that there's not a second part. There's a first part. That is the second part. The first part of it is her saying, you guys have enough of my judicial record that you guys can look at that. I'm not here to talk about how I would decide cases. I'm not going to do that. That's basically what she said. And so I went and pulled up the video because I knew it was coming. I'm like, all right, we're going to have to do this. Because people think they're smart without actually looking. They take the word of fucking morons on Twitter. Like, she's not using the whole thing. There's a part after that. There's really not. There's not. It comes before. If you're going to say that stupid shit, at least get the goddamn order right. But anyway, I went back, and it was surprising to me. And I don't know why it was surprising to me. It was surprising to me how many people were there for Ruth Bader Ginsburg's nomination hearings in 1993 who are still in Congress. Now, I believe in people being able to vote for whoever they want to. I get it. But maybe dust off some new people once in a while. Jesus fucking Christ. These people were old then. Oh, God. Who was the one doing it by video? Shit, the really loud guy. He's like the third or fourth guy that got to talk. Holy shit. I'm pretty sure that guy's dead. Fairly sure he's dead. And somebody had their hand up his ass making his mouth move. Some of these people are older than fucking dirt, man. And these are the people who are making policy decisions on things like Section 230. Yeah, let that sink in. That's like taking your brand new iPhone and giving it to your your cataract-ridden great-great-grandma and asking her to make it work. Especially Nancy. It is amazing to see this and see how much older they got, because Biden's in there too. Holy shit. Biden got more hair, but aged like 100 years. Which brings me to the other thing I want to talk about that was in the news today. The Biden campaign is dusting off the clean Negro so they can put him on the campaign trail. And Joe, it's a mistake, dude. It's a big ass mistake. There are people who love Barack Obama, and for various reasons. And I don't have a problem with people liking Barack Obama. I don't like him, but all right, do you? I think he's a murderous cunt who probably should be in prison. But he was an American president, and at least that part of it I respect. But he's a murderous shithead. Obama's going to outshine Joe by a lot. We're not talking going from a 40-watt bulb up to a 45. We're talking going from a 10-watt bulb to 120. Joe might not even be able to make it up to 10 watts. So look, if he wants to bring him out, that's fine. Go ahead and do it. But it's just going to remind people that you're not him and show just how bad you are. People are going to be looking at Joe Biden and comparing him against Barack Obama. Joe Biden, who has a stutter that apparently makes him say wrong phrases. A stutter that makes him threaten people in his audience and to challenge them to push-up matches. Mighty Balzac, thank you so much. He says, hey, where are all the white women at? Yeah, they're sleeping. It's just me and the abos tonight. This is a bad idea. I don't know who thought this was a good idea. If you're going to bring him out earlier. Bring him out earlier and then have him trail off near the end so that Biden can try to keep some of the glow that Obama brought. But the news is going to be covering what Barack does because, well, he's the ex-president and the news loves him, man. He's one of their idols. They worship at the feet of Barack Obama. And Barack is going to go out there and he's going to give some amazing speeches that were written for him, as long as the teleprompter works. And then Joe's going to get up there and say something like, that's the cleanest Negro I ever met. And be like, whoops, that was my stutter. You're not going to be able to hide it. Why in the fuck would you bring out somebody? Hey, whatever you think about Barack Obama, whatever you think, he could read a good speech. Now, his speaking pattern, I never really cared for because he has this weird cadence that he does where every couple of seconds, he has to stop for a moment to emphasize the point that he's about to make. And it's really fucking annoying, but it plays really well to crowds. And you're going to put that against Mr. You guys know how it goes. That's what you're doing. And somebody thought that was a good idea. Swear to God, these people are dumb as fuck. I miss when we weren't worried about the president every day and had the drama with Manlet in a wheelchair. Who's Manlet in a wheelchair? The election is over if voters turn out. I don't know how this election is going. I got to be honest with you guys. I've gone back and forth on who's going to win. I was thinking Biden as early as last week. I think the polls are still favoring Biden in a way that's kind of undeniable at the moment. But okay, take like Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Those are the three big ones. Those are the three ones that Donald Trump took that fucked Hillary's campaign all up. If he loses those three in 2016, Hillary's our president. And that's why they're concentrating so much on that. And Biden is doing pretty well in the latest polls that came out. He's up, what is it, 6, 7, and 8 in polling. Each of those, like the 8 is above the margin of error for that poll because it's like 3.5 margin of error, if I remember correctly. But if you take into account the bias of the polls themselves, that still puts that 8 probably more like at a 5 and within the margin of error, you know? So it's still doable. And that's why I'm like, yeah, right now, I don't know, because Trump could do it. And Trump giving the rallies, it's hyping people up. It's hyping them up. And the press is trying hard, you guys. They are trying hard to stop it. I saw a article today that said Trump and Biden rallies are making people sick. There's people getting sick at these rallies. I forget which one it was, but there's supposedly 16 people got sick. They got the Rona. 16 out of the 5, 10,000, however many were there. That's actually not too bad. That's pretty good. There was another one where there was like 4. My favorite, though, and I shouldn't laugh at this, there's one of Trump's rallies where 4 protesters got coronavirus. Is that wrong to laugh at? I feel like that's okay to laugh at because they're shitheads. As far as I know, none of them died, so I can laugh, right? I can still laugh. The fuck? He's so bad, he's spreading the Rona. He's spreading the Rona. Good morning, Necrosaw. How you doing, man? Nobody could get sick at a Biden rally. Well, here's the thing, Faithless. You say that. But if you look at Biden rallies, there's usually like 10 people there. And still somebody got sick at one. You've seen the social distancing they use. It's their excuse for why the rallies aren't bigger. They won't have more people. And as small as his rallies are, somebody got sick. Maybe, and I'm just throwing this out there, the social distancing nonsense is bullshit. Now, I'm not saying it is. I'm saying maybe it is. Speaking of the Trump rallies, I saw something really fucking stupid yesterday. Somebody sent me a link to a video and asked me if I'd ever seen the guy before. And I forget his name. I don't give a... Not the guy who sent me the thing. I forgot your name too, but I do care about you. The guy you sent me in the video, I don't give a fuck about him. I forgot his name. But he puts up this video congratulating the... I forget how he put it, but basically the people on his side who made the Republicans stop selling tickets in New Jersey. Now I have to explain this story to you. For those of you who haven't heard it yet, oh my God. So there's a Trump rally in New Jersey that Trump is not going to attend. Thank you, Gamer Valine. Must not have been Arizona. I only saw staffers at the Biden event. There are several that you can find where you can see them, the people in their little circles. But anyway, there's this New Jersey event. The president's not coming, but they're going to hold this rally anyway for the president. And it was supposed to be free. This part's important. It was going to be free. All right. And the people who were doing the tickets, because they still were giving out tickets, they're like, we're getting a lot of trolls. And they knew they were getting a lot of trolls because these trolls weren't very smart. They were doing, way too many of them were using the name Ruth Bader Ginsburg to request tickets. So the Republicans are like, okay, we got to stop this shit. $5 non-refundable tickets. And these fucking morons bought 3,000 tickets at $5 a piece. That is all money that goes straight to the Republican Party. And then after laughing at these idiots, as the day comes to do the rally, they're like, yeah, nobody has to have a ticket to get in here. So this idiot in the video that I was telling you about just a moment ago, he's taking credit for making them get rid of tickets. I'm like, wait. Your side gave $15,000 in non-refundable money to your political opponent to own them. And you think the original organizers going back to making it free as it had been to begin with is a win. By the way, 2,500 people still showed up to this thing. That's without Trump there. So this is where we talk about the enthusiasm gap. Trump has a lot of enthusiasm. His problem is he's not able to get around the country like he did in 2016. And he is neglecting Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. These are states he desperately needs to win. If he's going to need at least one. No offense, Monk, but you were talking shit. You can have socially distanced event at places like stadiums. Biden rallies are tiny because no one cares. No offense. I'm saying what they said. They're purposefully having them at small places, so you can't really tell how much enthusiasm there is. Unless you're going to, I tell you what, they were, in Arizona recently, right, Gamer? Go to everybody in Arizona and ask them how many of them wanted to go to the Biden event but couldn't because they didn't give out enough tickets for it because they were only giving out 15 tickets. And if you can find that nobody in Arizona wanted to go that didn't already go, I'll concede. Until then, look at the places they're having them. He could go to a stadium, but he's not. So you can't make the argument that nobody wants to go. Now, if you want to make the argument about the enthusiasm gap, nobody seems enthused about Biden, even the people who do get to go to him. I don't see people rah Biden. It's all fuck Trump. It's all fuck Trump. And Donald Trump is having a failure right now because he cannot get everywhere he needs to, like he did in 2016. He's got a lot of enthusiasm. A lot of people are showing up. It's starting to feel like the 2016 campaign, but I don't know if there's enough days left. I don't know if there's enough days left in the year or in the election cycle. He's hitting a city a day. And what do we have left? 20 days? That's not even every state. It's not even every state, man. COVID fucked Trump. Look, in a world without COVID, Donald Trump wins the election easily. Easily. Got the economy on his side. He can go around everywhere and be Donald Trump. The man is a great stage presence. Getting locked down. And I do find it funny. I've tried very hard not to be conspiratorial about COVID. I really have. But I do find it incredibly funny that it's not until the last days of our election, the last 3 weeks, that the WHO comes out and says, actually locking down is probably a bad idea. Shutting everything down is probably a bad idea. This unproven thing we've never done before, literally never done before, that has destroyed our economy, is ravaging people's lives. They're finally willing to say, maybe that was a bad idea. They didn't test this with something smaller, you know? They didn't test this with like a flu outbreak somewhere. And we had a decent sized flu season last year. They wait till the biggest pandemic in 100 years something that just destroyed the city of Wuhan. Even with the numbers that we have, just destroyed the city of Wuhan. And they're like, this is where we're going to test this experiment. They destroyed our economy. And they wait until there's only 3 weeks left to be like, yeah, people shouldn't be locked down. That's not good. It's not good for the economy. It's not good for those people. It's doing more damage than it's helping. After you've already kind of locked the president into what he's doing right now, you know? What has he had so far? A dozen or so, if that many, rallies. And then you got the COVID himself. That's coincidental. I'm trying very hard, very, very hard, not to be conspiratorial. But some of this shit just lines up a little too perfect. A little too perfect. And I'm not saying, okay, can we put on our tinfoil hats for a minute? Can we? Can we put them on for just a second? YouTube, I'm going to tell you right now, this is a conspiracy theory. I'm not pushing it. I'm just suggesting this is where my brain goes, okay? This is what I'm fighting my brain with. We have Democrats. Democratic socialists, no doubt. Democratic socialists who are begging for our economy to collapse. Begging for it. The economy's burning on all cylinders. They spend more than a year writing articles about how, careful guys, this economy is going to just crash. And instead, it just kept getting better. Just better. December comes along, and suddenly there's this really weird virus comes out of Wuhan, China. Very near one of their, we have for the CDC, their version of it, where they control very dangerous substances. It didn't come from there, you guys, because, well, that would make too much sense for a deadly virus to have snuck out of one of those places. No. It's far more likely that a coronavirus carried by a bat that isn't even found in that region. Was it like 1,000 kilometers away that this bat is actually found? Somebody at a wet market, which, by the way, those are gross. Somebody at a wet market got in contact with a bat from 1,000 kilometers away and happened to pick up this disease and start spreading it all over Wuhan and then all over China. And then it just happens to come here. And it came here not as a single person, not as two people, but by the time we found it, there were probably already hundreds infected. Hundreds. And suddenly we get these weird orders to do things we've never done before. Shut down businesses. Shut down our entire society in the election year. And then, right before the election, when there's not very much time left, suddenly, like, oh, no. It's okay. You shouldn't do that. It's a little too coincidental for me. And I'm having trouble fighting my brain with that because I want to be sane, you know? I don't want to go down that conspiracy road. But it is weird that the communists are the one who made a virus that gave the socialist Democrats their wish. Isn't that kind of coincidental? Isn't that a little weird? I'd like some coincidence like that when I'm buying a lottery ticket. I just coincidentally pick all the right numbers. Gamer Vleen, thank you. It was also near where the U.S. had their participants for the World Military Games in October, a week before the first human cases were found. There you go. This shit just happens to get out and make its way over here. The doctors who first found it were made to sign statements saying they lied. Interesting. Pangolins, monkey. Depends on who you ask. Because isn't it that the pangolins got it from the bat? Watch video by Computing Forever, connecting the dots. I can't watch that guy anymore. Sorry. That dude's off his fucking rocker. Just saying. In my opinion, if you guys like him, still watch. What's a pangolin? It's an ugly little critter. When I first saw one, I was like, what the fuck is that? Why would you eat that? They need more cows, pigs, and chickens over there so they don't have to eat all that weird shit. Bombs from Germany. Keep calm and carry on. A cough. Everyone panic. Well, no one. It's just the way things work. We've never done this before. Ever. We've quarantined cities, but even in those cases, the sick people inside the quarantine city get quarantined. The other people are still free to go about their way. And so you don't actually shut everything down. You just, slow the influx of new people and people going out to help stop it. We told everybody to stay in their house for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. No, we meant a month and a half. Have you noticed what they've started doing? I noticed Kamala Harris did this during the questioning today. She's talking about the virus, and at the height of the virus, 30 million jobs were lost. You like that? At the height of the virus. You know why they say at the height of the virus? Because if they point out the fact that 10 million jobs have come back, they look like morons. Because they are. The only reason we lost those jobs is because these fucking morons shut down everything in the middle of a pandemic. For some reason, thinking the best way to deal with things is to slow it down. Slow it down. Not to get rid of it. Slow it down. That was the goal. I got into arguments with people with this because, no, this is how we save humanity. Like, no, this is how you keep it going longer. When your goal is literally to flatten the curve, not get rid of the curve, not get rid of the line. No. Flatten the curve. So you have this big spike of new cases, and then they want it to come down to this much more manageable number. Not to zero, but this manageable number. Did you guys see Cuomo talking? Oh, this fucking moron. He came out today and he's like, I didn't actually give the orders that old people had to go into old folks' homes. That's just some shit Donald Trump is saying. And then he says this. We never forced them to take any because we never ran out of beds. Our hospitals never ran out of beds. He said that. Like, wait a minute. I thought you couldn't get everything you needed because the federal government wasn't helping you and your hospitals were just overloaded. Wasn't that the narrative? Did I miss something? I feel like I missed something. Now, Cuomo is right that that there was a federal mandate that said if nursing homes can safely deal with COVID patients, then they can go in there. They should go in there. New York gives a slightly different version of that to the nursing homes in New York City, telling them that they basically have to take them. They still made it so that it was optional. And they put in that line, if you can do it. And the nursing homes have all said, yeah, we took that to mean we had to do it. Even PolitiFact, which is far left-leaning, has rated Cuomo's nonsense, mostly false. Yeah, good job, Andy. Good job there, Andy. You're really helping your state and your people. No, it was Donald Trump who killed those people. We had all the beds and stuff we needed. Like, excuse me, sir, you said you didn't. It's actually not a stockpile. It's in the warehouse. That fucking guy. And liberals eat it up because the press repeats the stupid shit, and we're back to square one. Ladies and gentlemen, do your best not to get kicked off social media if you're going to engage in this shit, because you help nobody if you get your voice silenced. Being able to tell people you got kicked off Twitter, not a feat. It's easy to do. I've done it accidentally many times. I've done it on purpose a couple too, but it's not an accomplishment to get kicked off. The accomplishment is to stay there and actually make a difference. And it's hard to do, but it can be done. So don't go out there and martyr yourself because you think it's going to make you somehow important. It's not. It's shutting up your damn voice, letting them shut you up. Stay within the rules. Learn the rules and stay within them as best you can, because, yeah, they do change them on us now and then. Learn the rules, stay within them, and fight. Fight using their rules. Not their tactics, their rules. Because their tactics are garbage. Make your voice heard. Joe Biden should never be president. I don't care who is. He should never be president. Kamala Harris never should be president. She shouldn't be vice president. That bitch shouldn't even be on the ticket. It should be insulting to Democrats that she was picked when that bitch had to drop out before she even got a single vote. No votes were cast when that bitch had to drop out after getting $40 million donated to her campaign. Crashed and burned. Why? Because she's a horrible fucking person. There's a good chance she's going to be your next president. She should be turning tricks back in Cali. She should. I hear she's worth promotion for it. So, wow, what the fuck? Don't silence your own voice. By all means, fight, but I don't understand people who do that. I don't. I see all the big name people who've done. I don't care. For instance, Razor Fist. Like, if I get kicked off, here's where I'll be. Okay, if you get kicked off and somebody's fucked with you, all right, then you mean, damn, they kicked me. But if you're actively encouraging it, what did you win? What did you win? Going to a site, going to some 2-bit site, only people who agree with you go to. If you change the mind of somebody who agrees with you, I feel like you did something backwards. But maybe they're not in it for that. Maybe people aren't in it to actually change hearts and minds. And maybe I'm just old and stupid. Maybe what I should be doing is picking a team and going hard and getting myself kicked off, because I could do it. I can do it pretty easy. I can do it real easy. All you got to do is drop a cunt. Call Rachel Maddow a cunt. You'll be gone. I don't understand what they're doing. Is it just to preach to the faithful? Is that what's going on in politics today? Did I miss that? I mean, we've talked about it how it's become a religion with the left. Is it a religion on the right too? Just a bunch of preachers out there preaching to the choir? God, that's a scary thought. And maybe it's true. It certainly seems like there's way too many people out there who are willing to just go preach to the choir. You've already got the true believers on your side. What the fuck are you doing? I don't get it. Maybe it's just for the money. I don't know. I don't do this for the money. God knows I don't do this for the money. I appreciate it all. I really do. It was it's a lot of fun to find out that I could use my voice and actually make a living off of it. But this is the least I've ever made in my life. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't make anything. Thanks, YouTube. I don't do this for the money. Part of why I do it is ego. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't lie to you about that. I'm an egotistical somebody. You have to have a certain amount of arrogance to turn on a mic every night and go tell people what you think, you know? But I do it hoping you'll listen, you know? If you disagree with me, I hope that you'll be like, all right, I'll go check out what he said. And you go, damn, he was right about that. Maybe I'm wrong about something else too. Maybe that's a pipe dream. Maybe that's not how we're supposed to do politics anymore. Maybe what we're supposed to do is just get our disciples around us and tell them what they already believe. You know, seems to be what people want. I've thought many times about how much easier my YouTube life would be if I would just pick a side. I get accused of it all the time. I do. God knows I do. But I think about how much easier it would be to just go all in for Trump or be a complete jackass and just go all in for Biden. I could make a lot of money doing that. Pretty persuasive arguer. But people don't like to hear that they're wrong sometimes. They don't want to hear that their side did something wrong. Fucking principles. Anyway. Disciple, I'm nearly an alkalite. Pull a Tim Pool, monk. Can't. I don't have it in me. And usually when I say that, it's because, you know, like physically I can't do that shit. You know what I learned a long time ago? I learned lying is stupid. Yes, Monk is a Chargers fan. Go ahead and laugh at me. I don't care. I've laughed at myself for that. Lying is stupid. If you're going to, and especially if you're lying to like an audience, it is so much easier to keep things straight if you just tell the truth. And when I say tell the truth, that doesn't mean I'm always right. I just tell you what I honestly believe, what I think based on everything I see. I don't have to come back and be like, oh God, what did I say there? Shit, what position did I take there? I have a shitty memory, but for the most part, I'm like, if people come at me, you said this, like, I ain't fucking say that. Find it. Find me saying that stupid shit. There's a few people who owe videos on things they were supposed to go find. Never happened. I think about that sometimes. It's not something I would ever do. I couldn't just become one of these, I hate using this term, these grifters, these political grifters. There's a lot of money in it, guys. A lot of money in it. Just go in there and tell people stupid shit they want to hear. Especially if you're switching parties, man. The prodigal son returning is an amazing thing in politics. There are certain things you can do that will make you incredibly popular if you do it right. Come out as a trans conservative. Lots of money there, especially if you're pretty. Blair White. What was that other chick? The one from Canada. I forgot her name. She was cute enough. And she started a little conservative and then she went batshit crazy to the left. Or at least last I saw her. Be a black conservative, especially if you're a pretty female one. Yeah. No, not Lauren Chen. Lauren Chen is not a dude. Be any minority. Just speaking of Lauren Chen, be any minority and come out as staunchly conservative. And again, it helps if you can be pretty. Have even an ounce of testosterone in your body and come out as a lefty. Oh boy, they will throw money at you hand over fist. They'll be like, "Are you my daddy?" I wonder if they'll send you cigarettes. Oh God, to make sure you don't leave again. Get it? Haha. Lauren Chen needs to lay off the makeup. I didn't think she really had that much on. I don't pay that much attention, to be honest. I listen to what she says instead of watching her. As with most things, if I'm watching Lauren, she's on one screen and I'm playing a game or fucking around on Twitter. Mighty Balzac says Leslie Jones. I'm not sure she has a penis. That'll be a good one to end on. Did you guys see the post from Undoomed with the two trans cat ladies? Now, I'm not really sure. You know what? I think I can pull up the picture. I don't think we'll get in trouble for doing that. I don't think they're YouTubers, so I can laugh at them. It's going to take me a second to find it, though, because I wasn't planning on pulling it up. But don't make me go to Undoom's page. Just all right, fuck it. I'll go to Undoom's page. Or his timeline, I'm sorry. What the kids say. Here they are. Guess I've got to see this fucking tweet. This is just wow. If this isn't a sign of the times, I don't know what is. Here we go. It was recently National Coming Out Day. I am a trans cat girl. Stage left with the bow. My cat girl girlfriend is a trans cat girl. And we ams in lesbians with each other. We both fucking hate capitalism. Sorry, my mic's in the way. I'm trying to read that. Yeah. Now, when they say trans cat girl, I'm assuming that they're trans and they play cat. Faithless says a bit too on the nose, not a poet. No, this is real. It's surprising how many of these people are happy to just admit their weirdness. Thank you, Hazmat, who says, ew. I know, right? I'm fairly certain both of them were born with penises, and I don't know if they still have them, but the one on the right looks young enough to not have had bottom surgery yet. They have the lesbian. We ams lesbian with each other. What? All right, I'm gonna say this one more time for the slow people. Even if you're a trans woman, okay? If you've had bottom surgery, maybe. But if you have not had bottom surgery, you're not a fucking lesbian. You're not. If you have sex with your penis, you're not a lesbian. You're a heterosexual. Just saying. I don't know why that's controversial to say. I really don't. Especially when Amy Barrett got in trouble the other day for saying sexual preference. Thank you, Mighty Balzac. What the actual fuck? I know, right? There are people like, it's not a preference. We're born this way. Stop using that fucking argument. Seriously. Because whether you realize it or not, that is an argument for pedophilia. You have agency. You have control of yourself. It is a preference. It just is. A lot of liberals got really mad at me for this, but I'm going to say it to you guys as well. If you're a dude out there and you were, well, let's say, if you guys know what a glory hole is, let's say you stroll up to the glory hole and you stick your dick in there. You can't see who's on the other side. If there's a dude in there that blows you, you're not going to know. You'll just be like, cool. Unless you think the inside of a man and woman's mouth are like vastly shaped differently. It's a preference you make. If you saw that it was a guy, you'd be like, oh, hell no. If you're like straight, your dick will probably go, and it'll fall down. Like, no, You can have sex with males or females. You have a preference for which one you want to have sex with, and that's what you go with. Anyway. I just can't believe I saw this trans cat girl. And then it's like, yeah, it makes sense. That makes sense. Everybody's talking about how much 2020 sucks. I don't think 2020 sucks all that much. The COVID and all the shutdown is bad. But otherwise, I mean, that's a once in a, it's not even once in a lifetime. It's once in every few lifetimes. It happens. Shit happens. There have been worse years, believe me. I don't hate 2020, but it has, I forget what Undoom said, but it's like his surprise gland is broken for 2020, or it's all used up for 2020. It's not 2020 when I look at this picture. It's the last 5 years, the last decade, It's the whole thing. This picture of these two idiots who are lesbians with dicks. Can't believe that's the thing. That's just the culmination of what we've been seeing for so long. And people cheer this stupid shit on. You are so brave to come out as a kitty cat. No, you're fucking insane. And I don't say that about trans people. I don't go, oh, you're fucking insane. I think they need mental help. But these two, they're fucking insane. Doug Resurrect, thank you. I have preference. I'm bi, but prefer women. Fair enough. I'm sure there are many people, and I cannot speak for myself. I've never tested this. But I'm sure there's guys who couldn't get hard with a guy playing with their dick. I bet they could if they didn't know it was a guy. And I know because I have a dick and I've accidentally got hard trying to squeeze through a tight place. My dick was like, wait, what are we doing? Like, no, not now. That's a refrigerator we're rubbing against, damn it. You guys know what I mean. Our dicks ain't got no mind, man. They will pop up for the weirdest shit. Especially when you're a young man, so stop it. It's a preference, and there's nothing wrong with it being a preference. That's the bigger fucking point. There's nothing wrong with it being a preference. This born this way shit takes away any agency you have in your life, and it is fucking nonsense. Can you imagine saying that to your girlfriend or your boyfriend because you went and cheated on him? Come on, look, hey, I was born this way. I couldn't help but go be a whore. I was born this way. Your best friend, I had to fuck her. I was born this way. That's fucking retarded. And it's actually an insult. You fucking idiots don't even realize what you're walking into. Refrigisexual. Hey, I remember being, God, probably 11, and realizing standing in a class that I was kind of humping the table. Yeah. It's not like there was sexual gratification from it. Well, I didn't realize that's what it was at the time. But we're at these science tables, right? And I'm pressed all the way up against it. And luckily, I don't think any of my peers noticed, but I do wonder if my teacher did. And it just feels good. And I'm like, that's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. And I realized, oh my God, I have a boner. I should stop this. That's a true story. Yeah. True story time with Ranting Monkey. Yes, he'd probably be behind an 18 plus wall tonight. Anyway, guys, we're at the 2 hour mark. I got to stay up for like another 2.5 hours. So I got to go find something to do. I'm not doing a game stream, guys. Sorry. My throat is, there goes Frank humping the table again, right? I was so embarrassed when I realized it. Because my brain hadn't put it together yet, what I was doing, because I liked it. I did. Like I said, it wasn't really sexual gratification. This is before I'm sexually active. But I like that feeling, man. I was like, I think I'm humping a table. I should probably stop that. And I really had that thought, humping a table, because I was 11 at the time. The joys of growing up as a young man. The gods played a horrible trick on us with that penis they gave us. That thing is dangerous. You got to keep it in a chain. Guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Monk here has read like 5 of my comments. I'm sorry, I'm not really reading comments as I should be tonight. I'm very ranty tonight, and when I get like this, I do read a lot fewer comments. And I apologize. What was I saying? Oh, thank you guys so much for the donations. You guys are amazing. I really do appreciate it. And I really do mean it, guys. Go out there and fight. But if you're going to do that, don't martyr yourself. There's no win in that. Go out there and beat them. Thank you, Gamer Valine. Drunkle and Alex are flirting on Twitter. Cool. But let's see. Tonight is Thursday. We're going to be, I think we're on Satsu's channel. I don't know what's going on with the scheduling, because I will not be on Lords of the Night on Saturday, and I will not be doing this show on what will technically be for you guys, for most of you, Friday night going into Saturday morning. I won't be here for that show. I'm going to be sleeping, hopefully, because I'm going down to see Little Butt and Peanut. It's Peanut's birthday, and also see my daughter's new house, which would be nice, because I haven't seen it yet, and I know my daughter's excited to show us, because, well, if you have had the luxury of getting your own house, that's a great feeling, showing it off to people you like. And I think she likes me. What else? Like I said, no game stream. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll probably go fuck around in the Ghost game again by myself. Fucking Bloodwing bragging about doing all these hard missions alone. I'm like, I'm afraid to even walk in there. But so yeah, I will be probably fucking around with that. I don't want to stream that. Y'all want to see me stream me being scared out of my fucking mind as I play a ghost game at 2 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning by myself? Yeah. I know you have an idea on what to do, Stun, but I don't want to go learn a new game right now. I shouldn't even be awake. I should have been asleep. Fuck, 5 hours ago. Shit. Guys, thanks for watching. Thank you so much for everything you do for me and the channel. You guys are amazing. I love you. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It is linked below. There's also all kinds of links for me and Jack. Make sure you check them all out. Everybody, have a wonderful time. Love you guys. I'll see you next time. I once humped a table, and then I told strangers about